Hi guys, today's review is going to be of the Big City Brawl Ralph set from the new Rampage movie. I went to see this film last week, I think it was, and I loved it. As a movie based on a video game, it's basically what you'd expect, but as just a fun giant monster movie, it's awesome. I love the film. I can highly recommend you going to see it if you like films with giant monsters in them. So Ralph is the wolf who has some pretty awesome mutations. I won't tell you anything about those because spoilers for the film. But first we are going to look at the generic army guy number 52 that he comes with. Because this isn't supposed to be any particular character from the film, I don't think. I'm not recognising it as anyone. But yeah, this guy is pretty much just a brick. This is all you get. The head can rotate around, arms can rotate, and that's it. There is nothing in the legs, nothing in the elbows, just nothing. That is it. He also doesn't hold the guns at all, so I've kept the little elastic bands on his hands just to make sure that the guns do stay in his hand. But overall, the detailing on the figure is quite nice. You can see all his army gear and all that kind of stuff. So the detailing on the figure is really nice. It's just a shame that he doesn't do anything. He's literally just there to look nice. The second thing Ralph comes with is the bus, or a bus, should I say. It's just a section of a chewed up, beaten bus. And this panel does come off, but I will show you why that comes off later. It doesn't stay on there, it's literally just balanced. But as you can see, it's got some teeth marks on it, and the detailing on it is pretty good. Paint could be a bit better because I've never seen a bus this colour. I've never seen a bright blue bus. But on the inside, there is no paint at all. But there is moulded detail. So you got the cab here, you got a seat. But yeah, there's some moulded detail on the inside. But most of the paint work is on the outside because this is going to be the side of the bus that you will see when you display it on your shelf, basically. So yeah, so that's the bus. Now onto the main event, Ralph himself. As you can see by my hand, he is quite a big figure. The only thing that could have been better is they could have beefed him up a little bit. He's very skinny, so they could have made him a bit wider. But if you display him from the side, he's pretty damn impressive, and he's cool. He feels very cheap though. So yeah, while it might look awesome in person, it might look quite impressive, it doesn't feel impressive. It just feels really cheap. And it feels like it's going to shatter into 1,000 tiny little pieces if you throw it at a wall or drop it. But let's have a closer look at him either way. So he's got a very nice head sculpt. As you can see, very nicely done teeth, individually done teeth as well, considering quite a few figures would probably just block the teeth into one thing. But no, individually done teeth. Very nice fur detail. I love the ears. Big pointy ears. There is actually some detailing in there as well, for like the inner ear. In regards to his nose from the front. I just realised his eyes do look a little goofy from the front, but they look perfectly fine from the side. So as we go down his back, I'm just going to move his legs actually so I can bring the body down. So there we go, going onto his back, some more nice fur detail. This is very skinny, you can see his ribs. There we've got his sort of like flying squirrel wing flaps. That's not really a spoiler because it is shown in the film, no, in the trailer, that he can fly. So some underbelly fluff. And we've got these spines running down his back, these spikes. And then we get down to his tail, which is a mixture of fluff and spikes. On his legs, we can see we've got some scaling detail here. So he's not 100% wolf anymore, because he's ended up getting some scaly legs. And then we have the paws. All the paws pretty much look the same, front and back. And underneath it we have some slightly moulded paw pads, but they've sort of more been, I guess it kind of looks like they've been more worn down just so the figure can stand. But you can tell there is some paw pads supposed to be there. See, and obviously we've got some nice claws. We got the dew claws on the front feet, which are very, pretty big. And we also have the same dew claws on the back feet. And then the back feet does look the same with the roughly moulded paw pads as well. And then inside the mouth, we can see a nice moulded tongue. The inside of the mouth is pretty much all the same colour, just like a deep maroon sort of colour, deep red. Slightly darker than the colour of the inner ear and the fleshy wing membrane things. So yeah, let's look at the detail. For articulation, his tail can move up and down that much. So there isn't really much point to the tail articulation. It would have been nicer if it could have gone like further up. His back legs can move forward and backwards, but that is it. It's a very nice, smooth joint. So that's the back legs. The front legs are definitely more articulated. So they've got the hinge at the shoulder. They've also got an elbow. And they have a wrist. I would say ankle, but that's the back feet. So yeah, we've got a nice wrist. So he can do like a walking pose. If you can get him balanced, he really doesn't like. He doesn't really like being in poses on three legs. Yeah, he prefers being on all fours. So, as you saw at the beginning of the video, the pose that I had him in, if you get him balanced right, you can get him in a walking pose, but you still have to have all four paws on the ground. Now you may also know there is some joints in the neck, and as you saw earlier, the mouth opened. That's because he's got an action feature, and it's literally just a jaw-chomping action. So what you do is you move the neck up and down, and he opens and closes his mouth. So he can just like chomp on things. And that's where we bring the bus back in. Bring the bus in. So obviously, as you saw, the bus has some teeth marks in it. So the whole idea is Ralph comes up and bites away the bus and bites a bit off. It does sort of, the bite mark's a bit too wide for his mouth, but it does, sort of line up as if Ralph's the one that bit a bit of the bus off. Yeah, let's just put that back on. And we'll put generic army guy behind the bus, not inside the bus, as if he's shooting him. Yeah. Yeah, I like this figure. I do like the fact that it came with accessories, rather than it just being a giant wolf. You do come with something for the giant wolf to destroy. And oops, yeah, the front legs don't. The front legs don't have the strongest of joints, so for putting the front legs in any pose other than straight like that, you are definitely going to need to find the nice balancing point, because those front legs will not hold if they're bent like this. They will only hold properly if they're straight like this leg is. So when it's nice and straight. There we go. So yeah, I like it as a playset. I love the Ralph figure. Generic army guy. Could have done with some more articulation because I believe the George figure does comes with a figure of the Rock, and he's definitely more. He's like more articulated. He's got the basic articulation you'd expect for a cheap toy. And this was pretty cheap. 15 quid. Yeah, it's one of the cheapest things I've gotten for this size. I mean, they added the massive bus to make up for the fact that Ralph is quite skinny and small. As I know, the Big City Brawl Lizzie is literally just comes with Lizzie and an army man because Lizzie is so big. And the Big City Brawl George comes with a helicopter and a figure of the Rock. But yeah, I will not be reviewing the Lizzie and the George sets as of now because I do not have them and I don't plan to get them. If they come down in price, I might pick them up, but since these figures are kind of new-ish on the shelves to go along with the film, it's going to take them a while to come down in price. But just for a quick size comparison, I'll bring the Funko, the Funtime Freddy from the Funko sister location line. Not bringing the others in just because there was so much here to go with Ralph anyway. But as you can see, Ralph can look Freddy in the eye. Pretty much. They can just have a staring contest, but you should never have a staring contest with a dog because they take staring as a threat and will probably attack you. Especially if it's a wolf. Especially if it's a wolf this size. It wouldn't even need to eat you, it could just squish you. You could just go, and then you'd be dead. I don't know. But yeah, so that is pretty much all I can say for this playset. It's pretty cool. I would definitely say it's worth the £15 price tag. And obviously the bus can be used across any range really. If you have a giant monster or just a generic dinosaur or anything that you want to destroy a bus, hey, there's your bus for it to destroy, whatever you want. That could also be used for some photo, some like photo opportunities if you do toy photography, like me. I haven't taken any photos of this set yet, but I will be doing at some point. But anyway, that's all I have to say about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video, whatever it will be. Bye!